영상이 시작되기 전에 먼저 등장할 5개의 문장을 보여드릴게요. 빈칸에 들어갈 표현을 유추해보세요. 단어 하나하나를 직역하지 않고 전체 의미에 맞게 의역하고자 노력합니다. 그게 바로 영어식 사고의 출발이에요. 그럼 시작해볼까요?
It's more than just tweaking policy. Moving away from pure ideology towards something more pragmatic. If Intel does well, taxpayers see a return. A strong, reliable supply. It can win back major customers.
Welcome back. Today we're diving into a pretty fascinating development. There are reports out from mid-August 2025 suggesting the U.S. government is thinking about something. Well, remarkable. Actually becoming a direct shareholder in Intel. Yes, the Intel, one of the world's biggest chip makers. And that's a huge change from how things usually work. The government mostly staying hands-off with industries. So our mission today is to figure out why this might be happening and what it could mean for all of us. What's really driving this kind of strategic shift?
Well, you're right. It's more than just tweaking policy. It feels like a fundamental rethink of American industrial strategy. For decades, the idea was, free markets handle everything. But now it looks like the government is saying, look, national security actually means we need to step in directly. It's a massive shift, really, moving away from pure ideology towards something more pragmatic.
Right. So less about pure economics, more about fundamental security.
Mm-hmm.
And practically speaking, how would this even work? Buying into a company like Intel.
Exactly on the security point. And how? Well, it seems linked to the CHIPS and Science Act. That's the big $52 billion program meant to boost U.S. chip making with grants and tax breaks. Intel's already tapped into that for, about $10.9 billion. But this idea is different. Instead of just aid, the government might actually buy Intel stock, become a part owner. And here's the interesting angle. If Intel does well, maybe taxpayers see a return. It wouldn't just be a handout.
Okay, a return for taxpayers. That's an interesting thought. But let's be real. Intel has had some tough times lately. How likely is that upside, especially soon?
That's the key question, isn't it? You're right to point that out. Intel has definitely faced headwinds. Their value, the company's value, has dropped quite a bit in the last couple of years. And they've spent, nearly $40 billion trying to catch up to the leaders like TSMC. It's still a chase. Plus, that huge $20 billion factory plan for Ohio, delayed now maybe until 2030. Costs, supply chains, it's tough. So these struggles kind of underscore why government help is seen as so important for Intel and maybe for the U.S. position overall.
Mm. It really highlights how fragile maybe our domestic chip production is. Does this kind of direct investment, does it have parallels? Has the government done this kind of thing before for key industries?
Oh, absolutely. It's not totally out of the blue, though. Maybe the scale here is different. Think back to the Department of Defense taking a stake, about 15% in MP materials. They're the only U.S. company producing certain rare earth minerals, vital for defense tech. Or even more recently, look at the U.S. steel situation with Nippon Steel from Japan trying to buy it. The government secured what they call a golden share there, basically veto power on big decisions. So you see a pattern of the government getting more hands-on to protect critical supply chains.
Okay, so there's a pattern emerging. What's the core argument for getting involved so deeply with a private company like Intel?
The main argument, fundamentally, is that semiconductors aren't just another product anymore. They're vital for national security. These advanced chips are in everything. Our phones, sure, but also advanced AI, critical military gear. So making sure we have a strong, reliable supply here at home, that's seen as absolutely crucial, especially with all the global uncertainty and, frankly, competition.
Makes sense. But a move this big must have downsides, concerns. What are the main worries people are raising?
Oh, definitely. Critics have plenty to say. Big worries. One is distorting the market. Does government ownership mess up fair competition? Another is political influence. Could politics start driving Intel's business decisions instead of, business sense? And of course, the risk to taxpayers. If Intel doesn't fully recover, doesn't become competitive again, that's potentially a lot of public money down the drain. Intel still really needs to show it can win back major customers and make top-tier chips consistently. That's the bottom line to justify this kind of public stake.
So, stepping back, what does this all mean? We're seeing the U.S. government potentially acting not just as a rulemaker, but as a strategist, and even a direct investor, a shareholder.
Exactly. And it leaves us with a huge question, doesn't it? Is this bold move going to genuinely help Intel get back on its feet, or could it turn into a really expensive long-term gamble for taxpayers?
Yeah, it's clear the lines are blurring. Governments getting deeply involved in industries they see as critical is not just about regulation anymore, it's about direct participation. So maybe something for you, our listeners, to think about. What does this shift really mean for the future? For technology, for security, even for the basic relationship between governments and big business. What new questions does this make you ask about how power and innovation might work in the years ahead?
영어와 시사경제 두 마리 토끼를 한 번에 잡는 알찬 시간 되셨다면 구독과 좋아요를 꾹 눌러주세요. 감사합니다.